Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Dobry wieczór. Witamy wszystkich na 328 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy czwartek, 16 stycznia 2020 roku. A tematem dzisiejszym jest kolejny warsztat Fundacji Keshe. Jest to 310 warsztat z zeszłego tygodnia i czas przetłumaczony to jest od 6 minut do godziny 40 i to będzie cały ten wykład. Tak więc zapraszam do wysłuchania, obejrzenia i po wykładzie podzielimy się swoim zrozumieniem lub dodamy coś od siebie. Tak więc zapraszam.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you there?
Yes. Good day, good morning to you, good afternoon, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seekers series of teaching. As usual, we're back on Thursday again, and we try to, as usual, learn and share knowledge and try to extend the knowledge of understanding in so many ways, as a functionality of the soul, as a functionality of what we call space technology, agriculture, and everything else. It is interesting to see what we just saw, the enhancement unit. This unit physically will be shown in the next 2-3 weeks, and is primarily taking the knowledge into the next step of, as you call it, is not just an enhancement unit, but it has many other functions as is built and made in the shape of the universe. As we said, we replicated a lot of things in the past. We copied the bird, we get the planes. Now we have copied the universe. It will take mankind centuries to understand the totality of this knowledge in this system. Many ways, many things, many enjoyable times will come from this unit. In time when the mankind understands the totality of the design of the system, you can create condition of any position in the universe inside this system. As I said, slowly we open what the system can do. We learned, everybody thought it's for healing, or it was enhancing the body performance. Everybody thought it is for whatever and whatever, producing materials as we need in the space. But this is what we call multi-purpose unit. In a coming time where the scientists and mankind, now that he has reached the point of peace, will endeavor to create a condition of any point in the universe, which means you can create the real condition in any planet, on any star, any position in the universe inside the system. In the extension of the knowledge, we can come to understand one point, that we can create the whole arena of the universe. We can develop these systems in a way that it gives us the images, exact replication condition of the galaxies. The whole understanding is that in time, mankind will develop systems which in reality, what we could not do before. We could not create the condition of the dynamic magnetic fields around in the solar system. Now this system allows us to do it. We can position the sun in the center, and we can position the earth and the moon, and understand what is, what can be, and the other conditions which can be understood from their positioning. This will be the first time mankind has a three-dimensional working universal system, working only with magnetic fields. Nothing else. The way we have designed this and the way it will be used by the scientists is very much walk into the universe. Choose the place, superposition conditioned magnetic gravitational field strength, and you will see the life, the extension of life, the interaction of the fields. In a way, if you think of it, it's a dynamic plasmatic system which surpasses tokamak. As a nuclear physicist, I always saw tokamak being half-cooked business. But this time, the gravitational magnetic field comes from the wind within the structure. This passes the whole structure of CERN. CERN, advanced, high speed, whatever, has become more or less to its edge of limit. It doesn't, because there is too much limitation of magnetic field created through what we call matter state of fields, where in this system, now we create magnetic fields in the structure of the plasma as it is in the universe. There are no magnets, but the fields created by the dynamic system will give us the parallel, the true essence of the work of the universe within the system. In the coming time, we go more and more in depth. In coming time, we'll explain in a very detailed way how we can develop, we can increase and change everything. In a way, what we see, for the first time, mankind has got hold on the true essence, the way the universe is created. One of the reasons I started bringing this out was one reason. Because we knew the world peace has been achieved. We knew mankind will come to the point of the what we call the turning point in changing science to technology. From wars, then walking away from it and allowing it to become the most important thing mankind will do. As we've been witness to it since last Thursday teaching, the whole world went through what everyone thought was the brink of war. But we knew there shall be no war. And we saw by yesterday the whole thing turned upside down on its head. The most powerful nation has submitted itself to not being able to maintain world peace, and at the same time, world leaders have understood clearly since last night's message from the American leadership that we are powerless. Doesn't matter how you paint it, how you word it. One thing came out of past 7 days is no nation is ready to go to war. And we have reached the point, the turning point. As I was just saying before, the start of the teaching, just before we hear the words of the President Trump, I was writing to a couple of knowledge seekers in the background, worried. I said nothing will happen. American will become submissive. Because you have to understand They have tried every way to save their face. The most advanced nation in the world has come to understand has no advancement. And as I said many, many times, and somehow the world leaders have to understand. I put it in a joke way, but it has a lot of seriousness behind it. The reason the Americans always rely on the world that we never let Iran possess nuclear, because they know Iran has finished with nuclear long time ago. If the Americans were afraid of nuclear Iran system, they would have come up with different games. Simply, the reality is Iran has finished with nuclear. Nuclear is for the backdated nations. Nuclear is something children play with. Nuclear as a weapon has no purpose and has no need, because simply the plasma technology, which surpasses nuclear, is like when we used to make arrows and slingshots. Trying to hide behind, we never allow Iran to access nuclear because Iran walked away from nuclear. Because we have a more advanced technology that, as I have requested from His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, to be shown in March conference in Tehran. You got to understand that us today, we are witnessing an evolution and revolution in the world of science. We had the Industrial Revolution and brought many things. Now we're going through the plasma revolution, the cancer revolution, in so many ways that nations cannot close their eyes to. Yesterday, I was talking with some of the powerful people in the world of politics, and they said it was a humiliation which was accepted. It was a humiliation for the death of what we call nuclear industry. It was humiliation for understanding the simplicity of the truth. With this new enhancement system, a new cycle, a new revolution in the world of science and technology will emerge. We used the water and the steam to advance mankind through industrial revolution. Now we use the plasma, the knowledge of the creation of the universe, to change the course of humanity in a much better way. It is in totality beginning of a beginning. You got to understand, when a man in my position as a nuclear physicist and a plasma physicist tells you the age of nuclear is over, I've been telling you for a few years. Now we have seen it. We don't go about who killed who and who did what. The reality is, all that nuclear weapons sitting in the arsenals of both nations, Russia and America, Chinese, the French, the Pakistanis, the Indians, nobody there to touch, because the consequences of it was too horrendous. But everyone will play through the plasma. The war leaders, the peasants in the farms, the fishermen in the sea, and the spaceman in the depths of the space. What I said, and I keep on saying, that we have entered the phase of world peace, and there shall be no war. But the world leaders have to learn one thing from this past 7 days. Showing power by killing is the job of the wild animals of the jungles. Targeting and killing is what the wild dogs do in the plains of Africa. In so many ways, as I said, these nations of the West or advanced technology have no fear in killing scientists. Many Iranian nuclear physicists were killed because of the knowledge. Hitler didn't do that. Many scientists of the highest caliber in chemistry and biology and physics and astronomy have been killed, which is unbelievable, commissioned and executed by Americans and the European nations. The only nations in the world who kill scientists, and they call themselves civilized. The only nation with terrorized people, and they call the rest terrorists. Now, the true terrorists step one by one, stepping down. We've seen the biggest terrorist who killed more Iranian than anybody else, Netanyahu, has been stripped of his positions. And soon he'll see his own fate. We see once you kill this way, you will be killed this way through your soul. And in so many ways, the time of killing has come to an end. Now, it's our responsibility as Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers to elevate in totality not only the soul of those we thought are our leaders, but the soul of humanity. As I said, we have started releasing new technologies. Hopefully by Mexico or by Kenya, we will show you a new, what we call environmental cleanups. We have submitted a direct report to the Italian government in respect to the contamination of the waters, and they have till end of January to respond. A 250-page document has been submitted directly to the office of the President of Italy and the Prime Minister of Italy to respond in respect to the massive contamination in the country. I have informed the Italian government that Keshe Foundation will release this document in public, and if they do not respond, to take steps to correct it. The next step for us is launch of the new CO2 capture systems, which will be placed like solar cells, solar panels across the cities. These systems will be launched in next 30 days. The Keshe Foundation has put a value of €20,000 per system. In fact, what you do, you clean up the mess you create. Before March, we will release a new farming system which allows the farmers to clean up their animals from antibiotics and the chemicals that in turn returns by eating them into our body. Our scientists in the beautiful city of Mashhad have started testing. Scientists in Italy have started testing. And we are very open. We have taken the leadership in cleaning up and bringing new technologies, and will pursue this pattern till we achieve the maximum effect. The farming units, which will be supplied to the farmers directly for the animals, especially in the country of Holland, Italy, European northern countries, and America, as they keep the animals encaged and captivated in cages, the amount of antibiotics and chemicals given to them to keep them alive, for them to be able to use them commercially for their meat, will come to an end. The new agricultural unit is the next target for Keshe Foundation, because what we eat affects our health, changes our health. At this moment of time, the reduction in the sperm count in cities like London and major cities around the world, due to the factors we know, will be sorted out. We'll release systems to protect and convert this. Somebody's microphone is open. Every month, I explain to you, we release advanced edge of technology in a very simple form that will be sold through the Keshe Foundation operation. As we've seen, the enhancement unit, we met exactly to target our expectation before January. We will meet our what we call targets in every shape and manner in the coming weeks and months to change what we've done wrong to this planet, to ourselves, to its animals, and in so many ways, by correcting it, we return back to the position of peace. And in so many ways, I wonder how many of these naval ships we can borrow from Americans to put the Keshe Foundation systems on it to clean up the oceans from plastic. They have many warships. Now the war is cleaning war against what we've done wrong. In so many ways, We saw in past 7 days the beauty of the knowledge. As I said, I've asked the Iranian Keshe Foundation team to release the teachings of the Keshe Foundation last Monday. In I think about 5 hours teaching, 6 hours teaching, we made it clear to the Iranian government and the Iranian officials and administration that Iran has taken and has to take the lead in knowledge and technology. And in so many ways, we have set our scene, and we have asked His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran last Monday to allow the conference to take shape and place in Tehran, as we said in April. Because there has to be in the start, as I said, and in so many ways, this year is the year of the completion of all the teachings. Now we commercialize. We commercialize in a way that it can be used by everyone. In so many ways, the target of the Keshe Foundation next 12 months is industrialization of the Keshe Foundation technology through Keshe Foundation operation and through understanding of the technology. The Iranian Keshe Foundation RC team has the responsibility to transcribe the last Monday's teaching into English and to other languages. Copy of the teaching has been given to the Iranian administration directly and to the Iranian diplomats and ambassadors around the world. In so many ways, the way Iran took the lead in peace past 48 hours, it showed the power, what we call the beauty and humiliating a bully. And we thank the Iranian government for this. You could understand what would have been, and you have seen what has come out of the wisdom. Not escalating the war, but pushing for peace through the power and technology. As you hear the transcripts of the last Monday Farsi teaching, we announced to the Iranian government, Keshe Foundation will draw a line and explain what it sees and what it expects. In so many ways, we saw the end of wars in past 24 hours. In a way, we will see extraction of all the American forces and European forces out of Middle East in a very, very short time. The reality is that we welcome throughout the Middle East the European Americans as scientists and not as soldiers. Tehran become the cradle of science. And as I said, by 21st 2021, I stepped down in totality from many activities of the Keshe Foundation to make sure that we take the science, the leading science, and I return to the city of Tehran. Then we show the power of the technology. And as I said, in the next few weeks, you will see systems for cleanup, systems for agriculture, systems for many, many other things, and in so many ways, the Iranian systems for flight is the responsibility of Iranian government to show. They were gifted 12 years ago. You have to come to the point that we will show the beauty of the knowledge. We will show the glory of understanding the knowledge of the creation in the universe. If the knowledge seekers step up and move to the next level, the world leaders will follow. Most of you have got trapped and pedaling in the what I call underground base level of gases and nano coating and the rest. The true race for space will start from this week. You have to understand we have understood the knowledge of the creation, and we have developed technologies to confirm it. So we have become knowledgeable in the world of creation, the same as the creator, but in simpler ways. There are those who would like to make gold, those are who like to make this and that. You have to learn yourself. You have to understand yourself, how these things are set up and how they can be done. Maghreb systems are obsolete if you do not understand the technology, and you have to understand the simplicity of the technology. The knowledge of the plasma has in so many ways been overlooked by the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers, and that's why you are in problem. This is why all of you, many of you, are catching up, trying to catch up, but you don't understand where to start and where to finish. You do not understand, you have not understood the totality of the knowledge somehow it's easier to be what I call overlooking it than doing it. And as many of you are aware or not, Keshe Foundation has opened a new channel for all the knowledge seekers to come in, to share knowledge with each other, to distribute and share the totality of the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation worldwide. As I said to the Iranian Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers in a very simple way, as we knew the outcome of the attack last week, it was very easy for us to start preparing everything for it. As I said, when the peace comes, there'll be no borders. And the Keshe Foundation, Keshe Family platform has been created for the knowledge seekers, that we took the borders away. The border of knowledge, Keshe Foundations, Brazil, Mexico, Spanish, Portuguese, Farsi, all have been put on the one cover, one nation platform. And this platform was set up some 4 days ago. And it's for all the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers worldwide. Now we have made one nation out of you. One nation, one platform. You can all share knowledge. You can all come in, learn. We gave it a couple of days for everybody to come and say hello, whatever. And in coming days, you start teaching each other. This is the platform for the starting of the KF SSI teachings for master degrees, that groups of you, doesn't matter what language or nation you're in, get together and enhance the knowledge of your own interest. In a way, when I set up this Keshe Family Knowledge Seekers group, was to bring all the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers enthusiasts through in to start research groups. In a way, no borders. American knowledge seekers, scientists, you're welcome. As much as we welcomed all the Iranians. The Brazilians rushed in, and we saw the Spanish and every other nation is just coming in. And then we built this structure to one nation education center. At this moment, there is a lot of things I see talking about the guns here, talking about something else there, but let this, what I call seed, grow, and you will see what we have planned for it. And in this process, the Keshe family will become one planet family. You will understand why I set up one nation, one race, one planet. Now, this structure I set up is the beginning of it. Talk to each other. I've seen the Spanish are coming in, the Brazilians are there, the Iranians are there. We see all nationalities are coming in to talk. In this, try to set up groups of your own interest. Move into the plasma technology, not into the gas and nanotechnology. In a space you hardly ever will change anything into matter state. In the space, I've seen even the Iranian chats, because I have brought the Iranian team of all the Iranian Keshe Foundation supporters in different ways in one group together. And that was the process, because Iran will lead this knowledge. And I brought them into the Keshe family. That the Iranian teams, highly educated people, highly structured in research and development, will take a lead with the whole structure of the space technology. Our aim is one thing, that our American friends, our English, French, German, Brazilian, Africans, Chinese, you have no more names of nationality. You have become one family. I have asked the Chinese to post this link that the Chinese can join this group, that they can start educating and being part of the one structure. Today, I'm in the beautiful city of Beijing. And it's the responsibility of you as knowledge seekers is to make knowledge the only common denominator in the science and the technology for human race. Because as we've seen yesterday, we agreed, the world leaders agreed, we need peace. And the interesting thing is, the beauty of it is, as I said, in the last 7 days, we heard from Donald Trump 2 times, and both talks, both speeches refers to the teaching of Keshe Foundation. As I said, to the Iranian teaching, led to what he said after he killed the man. He knows his soul is in a big mess. Listen to the talk. He comes to it, and for the first time, an American president in public opening for a second time confirms the soul. Listen to the last Thursday, was what they call it, Friday, the speech of him talking how he killed a man, and in it, for the first time, he wants the revelation of the soul. So White House is listening clearly to our teaching, because now they know they have to answer to the soul. And that's why yesterday we saw the end of wars, because for the second time he's repeating it, that we start talking peace, we want peace, because we have finished with the guns. The only thing left is peace. And this is what we've been teaching and promoting for past years. So we have brought the world, supposedly the strongest nation, to understand about the soul and about the peace. So it means the totality of the human race, including the Chinese, including the Russians, the Africans, and the rest of us are ready to go, because we have touched the soul of the world leaders. In so many ways, we have taken charge. As I said to you, we start governing. Governing through knowledge, governing for man to understand he has to answer to something. He has the biggest mistake made. Man, by his own admission, confirms he's killed 2 men. And to do it, he has attached it to any reason. We saw what happened to Obama when he ordered a killing. We see what will happen to Donald Trump. He took a life. When I hear they call the biggest terrorist who has terrorized humanity for past century, Americans, who made a terrorist out of me, and then they changed it to a fraud because they couldn't get it terrorized, because nobody believed in it. The Kingdom of Belgium. We will see that mankind has moved to a phase that will not be able to lie his way to do things. Let me tell you one simple fact. Ruling needs wisdom of collective consciousness of peace from now on. This planet does not need any more rulers because people will work through their own structure. In a coming time, we learn more and more. In a coming time, we will be part of it. I was passing a building very recently and I said, how are we going to describe this in a coming time to our children and grandchildren? The court of justice. As I said, when we elevate the soul of the man, we put our prisoners into these machines and they understand, they get elevated and there are nowhere to go. What are we going to do with the prisoners? Now that man starts conducting his own way to be correct, courts will become museums places. They become one of the most strangest places man will laugh in a coming time. Why did they need somebody to judge them if they could judge themselves doing it the right way? We will come to this. And the beauty of it is that through the technologies which we release, will create that condition. A true scientist, a true man of peace, has to make advantage and the best use of the worst conditions that it becomes a success for whatever his aim and target is. If you heard what I said in the past few minutes, I explained to you that The Keshe Foundation, in next, most probably 4 weeks, once we come out of the Chinese holidays, will offer the world as a whole, a completely new environmental cleanup system. It's not the new, but we gave it a beautiful shape. We've done it in a beautiful way. I see it. The Keshe Foundation Chinese team meets tonight and tomorrow to complete this. This is the brainchild of China. The way the enhancement unit stayed with Austria, this is a brainchild of China. It'll come out of China. We already assigned a factory position for it yesterday. And in this process, we are making the best of what we've done wrong to this planet to get everything back right. By capturing massive amount of CO2s, which created so much mayhem, as a GANs, we'll feed these gases back to the oceans, back to the seas, back to the environment as the clean energy that in the process of not only creating CO2 absorption, but we release with it what this planet was short of into the oceans, into the land. The beauty of it is to clean up, and we use that pay by judgment of the correct conduct will bring the whole thing back to process. In so many ways, you've seen your CO2s, you use it for pain, you use it for doing this, cleaning the odor, whatever. Now, these new systems allows massive extraction, thousands of liters a day from atmosphere. Most probably, as I was saying, you've seen the solar cells on the roofs in the cities, you will see gas extraction units. And the same way as we are piping water into the canals and we infest the world, and we put contamination in, now we put energies to change. From 15th of February, hopefully, let's say 13th of February, the Chinese team with the new factory they signed in yesterday will deliver as much as many as we can produce to clean up cities. The problems where I stand today, now, I see city of Beijing in smoke with all the dirt. If the Chinese authorities understand what is coming out of China and place many of these on the roofs and on the ground floors and just feed them back into the water system, in the sewage system, in everything else, not only we clean up the planet, but we re-energize and we put back in so many ways the damages we done. We took it as oil, we feed it back as gasoline. And in so many ways, when you take the carbon out of the atmospheric condition of the big cities, there is nothing to attach itself with. We'll get the clean cities. A copied application of this will be made in Iran. Iran will supply a different direction of this. In the next week, 2 weeks, I've set out meetings with all the Iranian knowledge seekers who are developing or have developed technologies that we meet face to face, and the Keshe Foundation is financing them to start producing the new products in health, in agriculture. So we have started the commercialization of the technology in a way that all of us take a piece of it. In this process, the cleaning up has come to us. The repairing has come back to us, and in so many ways, if you have 2 cars or you have a 3 car, what we call CO2 out, as our Dutch people called it the greenhouse, and they sold many trees for it, but we don't know whether these trees are. If the amount of trees sold by replacing carbon absorption, whatever it was, this planet should be totally tree covered, but we haven't seen any tree. It was a very good game. But now, these units will be in front of you. It is made to work and in a way to replace the totality of what it needs to be done. As I said, these new systems, we don't patent, but we keep our rights to every single one of it. And we tell you what's going to happen to everything else of it. In so many ways, but we put new life back into this planet. I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful time with the Chinese Keshe Foundation people in the next 48 hours. We are together to complete. And in so many ways, this is a gift from China. And in so many ways, with this process, we do not need to open massive gas production factories, which was planned by the Keshe Foundation. We go directly into industrialization of the technology while we absorb all the CO2 we need through the development and commercialization of this unit through China. This will bring huge amount of what we call revenues for the Chinese government, and it's been said in the heart and the place of the man who built it up. It's been there like a rock with a foundation, and today, in a way, we say thank you to him. And as I said to the other Keshe Foundation in China, I said it has to be with him because he put his love and his soul into it. And yesterday we signed a contract, the initial and second contract will go in, that this factory will become operational within the next 30 days. And you will see the products. We try to show it in Mexico, and the agriculture part of it we try to show in what we call Africa, in Kenya. The head of Keshe Foundation sent me a message in the background. Please tell people that the booking for Mexico is open. All those from North America, wherever you want to be there, please book. Then we move to Kenya. Those of you who want to be in Kenyan conference, please book. The Iranian situation is register yourself as fast as you can, because we have to submit names and datas by at least next 45 days to the Iranian government. Those people who are the people who are sorting and helping us in the background from Iran, they tell us the Iranian intelligence security needs at least a month before, at least more than that, because it's a very strange thing. Christmas in January, we get Chinese New Year in February, and each one takes a month off or 2 weeks off or whatever, and then Iranian New Year is in 21st of March. So by the time they come back, we're very, very close to the what we call the April conference. Sign in as those of you who want to come to Iran and register as fast as we can. The same with Kenya, the same with what they call Mexico. Our conference next week in Malta is primarily for the Maltese government. But as usual, when we go in, everything is cleaned up before we get in. We saw this with the day of the conference in what we call Vienna. The government was in election out of nowhere because there was a mess they're cleaning up. Then we saw the same with Brazil. There's immediately announcements by the government, a new group set up, whatever. And in Malta, next week, they have a new government because somebody killed a journalist and they found out it was the governmental people behind it. So as we go into the Maltese, what we call conference, we're just there to meet with the Maltese government in a very direct way, because the headquarters of the Keshe Foundation are moving to Malta. So we have to know how we can organize the totality, and the new government will tell us in the conference or after the conference. We have found a center for the foundation. Hopefully we'll be able to get it one way or another. And it's exactly the way I wanted it, where no one needs visa to enter the Keshe Foundation as a center for peace and whatever mankind might need, or those who are not from here. The Malta is too small for massive developments, but it will become the center for administration of the Keshe Foundation worldwide operation, Universal Council, the Earth Council, and those of us who will be alive, and will be what we call around. And as I said, today's teaching is very simple. We're celebrating the beginning of the peace. As we said, a lot of people were waiting for disaster yesterday, and we knew it's not. I was sitting in the airport, and just about half an hour before President Trump speaks, all the flights, Iranian airline flights, all the international flights to Tehran were put on hold, deliberately delayed. All the flights going over the Middle East was diverted, and everybody was expecting a big war. I saw many Iranians sitting in lounges and in waiting rooms because everything was delayed by 2 hours after the speech, that if man goes to war, we're going to do. Nobody was going into Tehran. I heard in the lounge from the Iranian old couple negotiating with the children. Don't go to Tehran, you're going to get killed, and it's there. And the children convinced the parents to forget about the tickets and go home. And I wonder if now they found out what a big mistake they made. Talking to the Iranian communities in the airport, there was a joy. joy of peace. And as one said, now we can start living because we won by knowledge, we won by strength, and we showed we don't need to fight. For that reason, I'll make one announcement, and this will go directly. We invite President Trump to the conference in Tehran. He went all the way to North Korea to get Nobel Prize. Tehran is the best opportunity to actually getting it. In the coming days, invitation to the President of the United States will go. But as we asked Iranian officials, Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran is the only person who can allow this conference to go through, and on the basis that as we are inviting world leaders, they have to be met by the Iranian leadership. And we wait and see. It has become a very clean-cut peace talk. Keshe Foundation, demonstration of new technology, Tehran with the power of having the technology. As I said, we start governing by the peace and knowledge. In a way, Tehran conference is Keshe Foundation showing the technologies and other scientists of the what we call plasma technology, the Iranian government, and the rest of the nations as guests. The problem will be how the Iranian leadership, and only His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, Keshe Foundation, are negotiating in Tehran already with the Iranian administration. We are not talking because, as we said, and our advisors in our communications, the 4 or 5 communication we had is no use going to the president, no use going to the ministers. If Ayatollah Khamenei is saying no, is no. So we go to him and we have laid down the ground, very simple. Keshe Foundation technology, Iran shows its power of the understanding of the new knowledge, new technologies, and we celebrate that to start peace. And as I said, there is no one, we have no world leader, we haven't had any world leader who has taken his nation literally by the neck and walked it through the most advanced technological of the present times development, except Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran. We don't have any better candidate to lead the world towards peace through the application and the implication and the development of new technologies. He's done it for Iran. We go by reference. Warmongering, we have many American leaders, we've seen one president after another. When I was listening last week to what Trump was saying, that he killed one of the most blah, 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 turn it back. Handful of years, didn't we hear the same rhetoric from Obama when he did Bin Laden? Didn't we hear the same rhetoric when they got Saddam Hussein, when they robbed his nation? Now it's finished. If we go by the reference, we have no leaders who personally, individually has taken the knowledge and nation, his nation, to the most advanced technological development, and he has to be given that chance to do the same with the rest of the world. Don't look at what they made for them to be, look at their CV and what they've done with their nation. Tehran, Iran in isolation, through his own internal self-sufficiency, has reached this position that it could stand and show the power of its might and knowledge, that the biggest nation in the world had to wipe its face yesterday in front of international. We do not attack because no Americans was killed, because the Iranian called you 2 hours before. They told you take everybody out. If you do not know, Iranian government called the officials of Iraq and the Americans and the European community, take your people out. We want to show what we're going to do with you if you don't stop. And they didn't shoot one multiple tens of rockets to one area where the Europeans and Americans were holding as equipment. That's why nobody was killed. The President Trump doesn't tell you that. He was given a warning, get your guys out, we're going to show you what we're going to do with you, or keep them in there and you get thousands of them killed. And what he did, like a mouse, he collected them out. Get out as fast as you can. Because if one would have killed, then he had to start a war when he knew he was going to lose anyway. And that came out of the wisdom of a leadership. Man who understands how can push people to a corner to get peace, and he knows how to get the nation, the most advanced nations in the world. South Africans, when they were sanctioned, they tried to make a few things, but see what happened to it. Nothing came out. But now you see Iranian leadership, under the leadership of Ayatollah Khamenei, has 100% work reference to lead the world nations in peace and technology. And the Keshe Foundation, knowledge seekers, we work one way for peace and the extension of the knowledge that we can open this planet to the rest of its creatures and the creatures of the universe. In so many ways, we have no option but to commercialize that everyone can benefit by it and put the proceeds of it, what is comes back into the society as part of the Keshe Foundation work, that the totality benefits by it. I lead the Keshe Foundation by the love of the man and not by the fear of what man might do to himself. Because I know mankind changes very quickly. As you know, there's a good opportunity. There is no one to lead the world and Americans by creating such a mayhem, have created a vacuum, will lead it. Only world leadership will come those who lead mankind through science, technology, and advancement of what we call the soul of the man, through space, through understanding of his own space of the soul of himself. And now we understand the next step. We understand that gap exists, as I said, in the Iranian teaching, and that gap needs to be fulfilled by a man with the references and the credibility who has delivered. Keshe Foundation delivers the technology. The Iranian government, with the leadership of Ayatollah Khamenei, brings the power of peace as a nation. And that's the only reason I brought the Keshe knowledge technology to all of us. Two Iranians can sit next together and plan the future of the humanity for peace, prosperity, and knowledge, because we both know what to do. The message to Iranian administration is very clear. take lead and the leadership for peace and knowledge, and let the rest to be part of the same family. No more borders, no colors, no races, no religion. The way we set up the Keshe Foundation family, Keshe Family Worldwide Operation as of this week. There is no choice. This opportunity will never come to mankind, and it needs to be taken and lead mankind to a direction, the new way. As we said, if some of you don't know, and I saw another video recently reminded me again, the largest ever empire in the history of mankind has been the Persian Empire. Over 40% of the landmass run by one just leadership of Kurosh and Dariush and the families. And now we extend that mass to 100%, but just for peace and knowledge. And it has to be understood. The opportunity has been there, we guided it, we know what to do, and now it's time to complete it. April conference in Tehran will be what we call watershed for peace and knowledge. And in the next few weeks, as we show you the simplicity of the technologies which is coming out, not out of the most advanced universities and research centers, out of the knowledge seekers, common man on the street. The last man standing. The whole structure of the Keshe Foundation is to guarantee world security in peace and knowledge, and sharing of the knowledge so openly. Join the Keshe Family platform and start sharing how and what you can achieve to show by April. 3 months is a long, long time, and a lot of you know what to do. Already 2 or 3 scientists have been invited to present. An Iranian group with agriculture have been invited to show. The understanding, we have invited one of the leading Chinese scientists, 2 of them, to join us in the conference. And in that process, we'll bring in men of space. I have requested from the Iranian government to show the obsolete nuclear technology which the Americans are so proud of. And in so many ways, in my meetings with the Iranian teams, we structure them that they can show the most technological advancements in their city, in the conference. I'm prepared to meet any knowledge seekers who is and has developed and can deliver a valid technology. Then we bring it out, we support it. The beauty of it is, we've done it together. And the beauty of this, we can do it together to bring us to that point. One of the most important part of the knowledge, and it has to be done by the knowledge seekers themselves, is in so many ways the structure of a home. A structure of a physical home that we can use the technology to create what we call a home. It's not by bricks and mortar and whatever. It's by using the gravitational magnetic field systems to create structures. To create divisions, what we call partitions. To create what we call conditions that you can lay the physicality, or what you call it, a place to enjoy. What we call the leisure side of the Keshe Foundation, knowledge seekers, is lagging behind a lot. It's this which will bring what we call the knowledge home. Knowledge seekers, if you understand it, start looking into what I call the leisure industry of the Keshe Foundation. Because now that we have no more wars, we have to do something to enjoy the time. We have to change the structure of living the way we do. And it has to come from the people who understand, who understand the ethos of it. We need those who can take this to public. Yesterday we had a meeting with what they call the distributors of the Keshe Foundation, who were trying to sell things for years, and I explained to them exactly what we need. Keshe Foundation needs a very strong sales team. If you're in that business, join us to promote the new technologies that people can benefit by it. In so many ways, we have no choice. With the wars, the only thing left is the pleasure of enjoying the life. When you sit and watch how billions of us have slaved ourselves to be in a place called the box, to be there 9 to 5, to get something, to have a holiday, to call it the New Year or whatever, and maybe a week, 10 days holidays to be for what I've done. 7 billion people, if we divide it the right way, if we can get 10% of us working 10% of our time, the other 90% can enjoy the other 90%, where the 10% can run everything. Don't need any more hospitals. You don't need any more churches. You don't need any courts. You don't need any da-da. You can see where you're going to end up with. A lot of leisure time, as the Americans call it, a lot of leisure times, as it's called in English. This part of the technology needs to be brought out by the youth of the Keshe Foundation. Imagine computer games. Now imagine the next plasma games. If those of you who work in the world of computers, animation, bring it in to the dimension of using the plasma. Develop your intellect into the plasma technology. This is the biggest part, because we have many people unemployed, and I'm not worried about them because they have a machine which feeds them. and every machine looks after their health, and they work because they want to be busy to serve humanity, not to live, to have something to put in their mouth that they don't die. Fear of death has brought man to the slavery of the others. At the same time, fear of hunger, that they might die, has put the same thing in the same position. And with this technology, we have taken all those fears away. You will understand in a very, very short time, very, very short time, that the only fear we will have is from natural disasters. And with the new technology, we can look after them. They say 500,000 or whatever animals have died in the fires of Australia, bushfires. I listened very recently to a beautiful Iranian scientist when I was in Dubai, that how the Iranian scientists are developing a new firefighting system, and they want to integrate to it with the plasma technology that they can do. And I said, I had this before. 2, 3 people tried. But the Iranian guys have a different tone to them. I'm meeting them very soon. And in that process, we'll bring a new plasma technology for the fires. If you're in that fire business, you want to stop the fires and firefighting through plasma, join this team of Iranians. They're already advanced a lot. They can do everything within 8 seconds. They have the machine developed in Tehran. But now we want to integrate it with it, that what we have now, we developed as a what we call CO2 capture, to be added in a different way of the CO2 capture, that there is no oxygen available for the fire to get. How fast can you stop the fires? In milliseconds. But mankind cannot get involved in stopping the bushfires. If we stop the fires in America on a regular basis or in Australia, our cycle of ecological cycle will be disturbed. And then we have a bigger disaster on our hand. We have to find a way that we can negotiate our ways around it to save life, to save property, but allow the nature of the world, this planet, to go through its cycle. You remember what we saw with the disaster in Caribbean, how it was protected? The biggest size of this protection is done by Iran covering itself. So it's possible now to create conditions that we protect our own properties in a perfect way, but we allow the nature to take its course. Otherwise, the nature will range in a very worse way, because you cannot stop the fields of the plasma of this planet and universe not to do their work. You pressurize it somewhere else, it damages something somewhere else. How many times mankind has tried? So, if you're knowledge seekers, these are the areas which there is a gap. Not a gap, we haven't had time to work with it. The leisure time, the section which is to do with what we call better existing of the man and his life, amongst others. There is another part which has got to be addressed, is how we bring peace to the soul of the animals using the new technology. As we become self-sufficient through the technology that we don't kill, because we elevate our souls, we have technology, we have to transfer this back into the nature, that we stop them by receiving the energies they need through the same process as we do. I think the animals reach that level much faster than we do because the new CO2 systems facilitate for that. I'll explain to you when we go to commercialize it. The leaflets, the pamphlets for it will be ready, and you will understand a very simple point that we can, through the same process, fortunately understanding the technology, bring peace to animals, bring a position the animals would not eat each other because the energy received by them, they don't feel hungry. And by the order of the conservation, they will control themselves in the numbers. As I said, I was watching a bunch of what we call crickets, or whatever other people call it, eating everything up. Then they said, Mr. Keshe, we need help. He's eating half of Iran agriculture. Now I saw it somewhere else. I said, oh boys, you haven't learned? You don't need to do anything with them. Just put systems in that it feeds them the energy they need. They'll be there. That's all we need to do. We don't need to do something to kill them, to control them. Let them be. They control themselves, but they're fed. If we can run the systems as the Russians did over the American boat and they paralyze it using the plasma technology, we can do the same thing with these animals. What they said, it's in the holy books that the plague of these animals came and whatever. Now let the plague comes. We create a condition that they take energy from what they need. They won't eat. They're there to enjoy the scenery like you and me. This is the changes which knowledge seekers need to bring. We have everything. We have the full understanding of the electronics, transmission, communication, everything else, the flight system, everything is there. It just needs to be put together that it fits. And this is what I keep on emphasizing. The Iranian leadership, through our leadership of Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, and the Keshe Foundation knowledge will bring this together. Will bring a lot of finances of the world governments to do what is best for all of us. You heard very recently what the guy said. We have increased our debts, but I call it the difference, by another 17 billion this year to 600 and something billion dollars. Can you imagine what mankind can do with 600 and something billion dollars of one nation put on defense in developing new technologies? I tell you what, as I explained to one of my children recently, people will come and say it's unfair. Now they imprison us in earth because there'll be so many of us wanting to go out to the depletion of the population. Government or the one world government will decide to put numbers on it. You can't all go, we all die here if you all go. We need people here to do other things. Then how are we going to solve that is the problems of the future governments governing this planet. Would we go through the process of As you know, in the state of Israel, Palestinians are more than the Jews. But how they got it is by producing like rabbits as many children as they could. And many, many Israelis left Israel because they did not accept the unjust ruling the way they were doing it. And half of them fled out of the fear of when it happens, what's going to happen. All this has to be part of the past of the history of the man. One of the biggest problems by mid this century, or even long before that, is how we control our population, what we call flocks out of this planet, as sightseers. It is fantastic when you sit and you travel as much as I do between China and outside. It's amazing. Plane loads. Only person who understood how cleverly he can benefit by it is the Sheikh of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed. He bought all these 380s, 500 or 600 people, and they walk one route. Dubai, China, and then into European. He collects all the fees. Nobody transports more people out of China as tourists than what we call the Dubai airline. Because they bought it's all 380s. Billions of them they want to see, they haven't seen. And the beauty of it is, as I said before, Chinese are financing China by becoming tourists. Have you seen them? They all want to have a souvenir from Rome, a souvenir from Paris, a souvenir from Italy, a souvenir from London, and all these souvenirs, when they turn it says made in China. So the Chinese are running the whole world industry partially on their own back. And the Europeans say we have Chinese tourists. And now we're going to have Earth tourists, but how are we going to control them? These are the problems of the world leaders to sort out, not ours. But today is a beautiful day. And those of you who know, there is a figure 9 in today. And it means the end and the beginning of new. And in so many ways, from now on, we step up. In so many ways, if you listen to this teaching, it's become a very, very complicated teaching process. To teach some, to tell you some, to let you understand what the soul does and see what the soul has brought, what commercialization brings you, what we need to do, and everything else. Because all the pieces of the technology has been taught in past 15 years. Now, the jigsaw is getting complete, is putting it together, that we start enjoying a full picture. And knowledge seekers, you're part of it. You are the people who instigated it. And the way you have done it has puzzled many world leaders. How this unknown bunch of groups of people have brought so much that everybody knows, but nobody knows what to do. But in a good way, the best thing happened to us. You look at it, was the vacuum that the Belgians made for us, that nobody wants anything, but people are still looking into it, developing it, and now it has taken shape. We are waiting for one message. We are waiting for confirmation of it. and this is important for the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers. We received a call. We are just as usual getting it confirmed, if it's correct. The Carabinieri of the Italian government has asked me to attend a court case in February, and the case of Fabio has been classed as a murder. If we get the confirmation of this to be true, because Giovanni has spoken to the police that they want to be. The case of Fabio's death now has entered a murder. And this will open, if it is true, in many ways, the door for the Keshe Foundation and end of Belgian monarchy, because we have all the details for it. We hope the Italian government has taken that step, and as Giovanni is speaking to the Carabinieris, and I have to attend, and if it is true that what has happened, a murder case has started. This was a murder attempt on my life, and Fabio got trapped in it. So sometime in February, we are waiting. If it is correct, we announce it, that it is done. We have the telephone number of the Carabinieri. Giovanni has spoken to them immediately. They have confirmed there is a summons. I have to appear in court as a witness. Then the case of the murder officially is opened up. The Italian government has spent a lot of money and time on this, we knew. I asked especially Blessed Soul Sandor to draw me electronic pictures of this. Me and Sandor went through every shape of possible accident done by what we call design patterns, cars, which we draw everything out, and every shape confirmed it was murder. And Italian police didn't let it go. They were doing simulation of it a lot, because there was attempted murder on my life, which he got caught in. So if we go to court as a witness, if this is true, from what we understand it is, then what we told you from the beginning, that Fabio's death was a murder planned by the Belgian monarchy to murder me. Poor chap got involved in it, and we saw with Naomi. If this is true, then we understand when I told you Belgian monarchy is looking somewhere for refugee. So now we wait, and as we go through this process, we have asked the family of Fabio to check with the police. The court is in February, and you know Italian police doesn't go into these things if they don't have everything. We have a direct connection between Red Circle and the man who planned the murder. Our securities we have pictures, we have the companies, everything is set up. We have it in full. So it's already been 3 copied that if anything happens to me, the others will take it to court. And officially, if it is, we'll see if it's true. As Giovanni is taking the rest of it, and I have to go to Italy to accept the court summons to appear to give witness. Official case for murder of Fabio is being opened by the Italian police. When we told it was a murder, everybody said he just talks. They simulated it. We know through our own security, they did everything. They put helicopters, they put 3, what they call it, 2-dimensional images, everything confirmed it's a murder. And now the driver First time he was brought to court, now he's brought in for a murder. But we can connect him to his boss, and we have a direct connection to Red Circle. What we talk is black and white. And the boss has traveled between Antwerp and Albania on a frequent basis. To Antwerp only. This is a bigger case, and we wait for security reasons. We have spread all the data, all the knowledge with 3 different groups that anything happens, it will be released. And the case is very clear. And we thank the Italian police. They spent so much, 3 years to complete this case. One does by missile precision, and one does by trucks. At the end, they're all terrorists and murderers. Any questions? I've got 20 minutes, 17 minutes, and I have to leave. I have a flight to catch.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. And as usual, I'll remind the attendees they can put their hand up to ask.
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia tego warsztatu. Jak ktoś chce coś dodać od siebie, to zapraszam. Warsztat był naprawdę bardzo interesujący i daje duże perspektywy do zmian na naszej planecie.
No, dzięki, dokładnie tak, Jarku. Tutaj były poruszone te tematy, które są dość, można powiedzieć, na czasie, czyli było o konferencji w Iranie, było też o tej napiętej sytuacji Iranu ze Stanami. Myślę, że każdy sobie mógł posłuchać to, co tutaj dr Keshe tłumaczył, jak tak naprawdę to wszystko wyglądało, że tam w tle było gdzieś ostrzeżenie po to, żeby nikt nie ucierpiał. Pewnie w domyśle można zgadywać, że przecież te bazy posiadały jakieś systemy antyrakietowe, ale w momencie tego demonstracji siły, można powiedzieć, tego odwetu Iranu, nikt nie zginął, a jednak te budynki oberwały i zniszczenia właśnie w sprzęcie były. Dr Keshe prezentował też inne projekty, jak na przykład oczyszczanie wody we Włoszech, tam informował o dostarczeniu dokumentów do rządu włoskiego. Było trochę o nowym formacie nauczeń prywatnych, czyli robieniu właśnie badań w kierunku wykorzystania technologii gansoplazmy do rozwiązywania różnych problemów. Tak samo tutaj było o tym wychwytywaniu CO2, który możemy zamieniać w gans i wpuszczać do oceanów, aby naprawić w pewien sposób to, co poszło gdzieś tam nie tak przy kreacji tej planety. I można też to robić na skalę przemysłową, że takie urządzenia mogą być tak obecne, można powiedzieć, w naszym życiu, jak na przykład panele słoneczne, które też w pewien sposób coś wyłapują, w tym przypadku promienie słoneczne, a tu mówimy o tym CO2, czyli likwidując, można powiedzieć, problem tego zanieczyszczenia CO2, jednocześnie właśnie produkcja gansu, który miałby tutaj pozytywny wpływ na całą planetę. Dr Keshe mówił, wracał po raz kolejny do tematu pokoju, do Imperium Perskiego, które kiedyś tak prężnie funkcjonowało i cały czas widzi właśnie tą konferencję w kwietniu jako początek właśnie tego procesu. Mówi też o tym, żeby pomyśleć trochę bardziej nad pomysłami w kierunku przemysłu wypoczynkowego, że w przypadku braku wojen, sytuacji, gdzie nie potrzeba sądów czy szpitali, będzie dużo czasu na czerpanie przyjemności z życia przy jakiejś, można powiedzieć, minimalnej ilości pracy. I wiele osób będzie chciało lecieć. Tutaj doktor Keshe mówi, że część trzeba będzie w pewien sposób zatrzymać tutaj na Ziemi, żeby ona mogła funkcjonować tak jak do tej pory. Mówię o maszynach do leczenia, do odżywiania, cały czas wszystko, całe te wyjaśnienia też idą w kierunku tej jednostki uniwersalnej wzmacniającej, która od jakiegoś czasu jest promowana i sprzedawana przez fundację. Mieliśmy temat pożarów lasów w Australii, gdzie po raz kolejny to wyłapywanie CO2, wyłapywanie tego tlenu z atmosfery jest w stanie bardzo szybko ugasić taki pożar. Ale tutaj dr Keshe przestrzegał przed zmienianiem naturalnego biegu wydarzeń, można powiedzieć, w naturze, że można zastosować tę technologię, żeby chronić życie, swoją własność, ale żeby nie powstrzymywać tego całkowicie, bo jest to naturalny cykl, który jeśli będzie gdzieś stłamszony w jednym miejscu, to w innym może ujawnić się już znacznie bardziej drastycznie. I tutaj też dr Keshe wskazywał i porównywał właśnie taką kopułę, która stanowiłaby właśnie ochronę dla danego na przykład budynku czy danych osób. Porównywał to do tego, co widzieliśmy parę lat temu na Dominikanie, gdzie przeszedł ten huragan, a cała działka, dom Thomasa Lassa zostały nietknięte i tutaj też tą ideę, ten pomysł właśnie takiej tarczy ochronnej dr Keshe mówił w kontekście Iranu, że Iran też właśnie posiada taką technologię. W zasadzie na koniec mieliśmy jeszcze informację o śledztwie w sprawie zabójstwa Fabio, że może to być końcem belgijskiej monarchii. Informacja o tym, że nie jest to jeszcze informacja do końca sprawdzona, ale już pierwsze takie słuchy doszły doktora Keshe, że będzie zaproszony na rozprawę w lutym, bo policja wszczyna ponownie śledztwo w sprawie, tym razem już w sprawie zabójstwa, a nie tylko śmierci Fabio. No i w zasadzie to tyle. Tutaj jeszcze warsztat trwał może z pół godzinki, ale dość szybko doktor Keshe musiał się zmywać prawdopodobnie na jakiś lot, połączenie czy spotkanie, już nie pamiętam. W każdym bądź razie mieliśmy dość krótki warsztat, jak widzimy, tematy przede wszystkim bieżące tego, co się dzieje na świecie. Także każdy mógł sobie tutaj w detalach posłuchać, jak to jest widziane, interpretowane i przekazywane właśnie poprzez doktora Keszego. Jeszcze tylko gwoli wzmianki, w niedzielę zaczniemy oglądać blueprinty, tłumaczenia blueprintów Magrawa. To jest materiał sprzed bodajże 4 czy 5 lat. Będzie trochę tych filmików i tłumaczeń. Będziemy sobie starali to na bieżąco omawiać po paru latach, gdzie to zrozumienie i tematy, które w międzyczasie były omawiane, myślę, na tyle wzbogaciły nasze własne zrozumienie, że będziemy w stanie podejść do tych warsztatów pod zupełnie innym kątem, niż miałoby to miejsce kilka lat temu. Także w niedzielę, myślę, zaczniemy pierwszy z tych warsztatów, z tych blueprintów i tam będziemy rozkładać tą wiedzę po raz kolejny na czynniki pierwsze, po to, żeby dokładając indywidualnie, a analizując kolektywnie, żebyśmy mogli awansować, można powiedzieć, pójść do przodu w naszym własnym zrozumieniu plazmy i tej technologii. W zasadzie wszystko z mojej strony. Jak ktoś ma ochotę coś dorzucić ze swojego zrozumienia, swojej wiedzy, coś dodać w jakiejkolwiek kwestii, to zapraszam. Dzięki.
Dzięki, Przemku. Jeśli nie ma pytań, to jeszcze dodam tak od siebie, że było wspomniane o promowaniu strony sklepu fundacyjnego i dzielenia się z tym innymi. Jak ktoś potrzebuje jakichś właśnie takich produktów plazmatycznych, to jest wskazane, żeby to po prostu gdzieś przekazać dalej, kto komu jest to potrzebne. No i dzięki za tłumaczenie tych warsztatów i tych, które będziemy oglądać w niedzielę. Tak więc życzę dobrej nocy i do usłyszenia. To były 328 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy z czwartku 16 stycznia 2020 roku. Tak więc dobrej nocy.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy, Duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.